Right then, how are we all doing? Good news, everyone! DHL have decided to stop their wingcopter system. They're exiting drone delivery to your house, stage left. They're going away. That's right, even DHL have cottoned on. It's too expensive, it's too much hassle, they're out the door. Brilliant. Brilliant. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the last 5 kilometres or so, that's the expensive delivery part. Quickest saving, electric van with a driver, that's the quickest saving. The future is these little fellas though. Oh look, it's DHL. So it's looking more and more like the so-called Great Air Sell-Off and the get-rich schemes from UTMs is now in a bit of a free-fall. Well, I won't say free-fall, it's a bit of a nosedive. Any investor that was hoping to make money, you've now lost 2 of your biggest clients. You've lost Amazon Prime, or Amazon Air if you like, and you've lost DHL. The 2 big boys have exited stage left. UTMs, if you're an investor or you're playing with UTM technology, that is now proving it's going to be a loss leader by the looks of it. It's inventing something for the sake of it, and the general rule is don't invent something for the sake of it. It's a bit like remote ID or a transponder. You would never invent remote ID because the transponder would do the same thing. You know, it's if you look at Elon Musk, for example, he would say, you know, why have you created something and you never duplicate it? And if you're going to duplicate it, why? Why are you duplicating? Something that does the same thing twice, you wouldn't do it. So remote IDs are about as much good as a wet fart, to be funny. You just want transponders. With transponders, you wouldn't need UTMs. Anyway, so UTMs, if you invested in them, more for you to a degree, no sympathy there. Drone delivery, will it ever happen? Yes, point to point, I've said it before, from hospital to hospital makes sense. If one is a specialist, holds all the drugs, and the others need it quickly, they can just send it across. That makes sense. Isle of Mull to mainland Scotland, postal deliveries or parcel delivery would probably make sense. But there's very few user cases in the actual mainland of the UK where point to point would actually make sense. You know, typically the hospitals that we're talking about for point to point, they're typically going to be the ones that are further out. I would say a lot of the rural ones, rural major ones, have got to supply others. You know, there might be a big bay in the way, like Morecambe Bay, and it's either an hour round or it's a 10-minute flight across with a drone. That makes sense. I just want to thank DHL and Amazon Prime for exiting this complete and utter farce. And we should also thank them for probably taking taxpayers' money for development of stuff, because the government will go, oh, it's new technology, we'll invest in that, we'll pay you some money, here's some money, here's some money. And they're going to go, oh, thank you. And then you've got the likes of at free advertising, because Amazon Prime or DHL did a delivery by drone, testing this, that and the other. That gets some free publicity and it comes around, and it's worth money, a lot of money actually, if it's free. But it looks like everyone's realising, you know, trying to deliver by drones, just the fatal error. So, yeah, let's say yay, thank you. 400 foot airspace and below, or even 1,000 foot and below, just got a lot clearer. It was never busy anyway. Don't get me wrong, in the future, in 10 years time, they might resurface the idea as technology improves. However, remember, it's the cost of the last 5 kilometres or so is the most expensive bit. Until they find an easy way to reduce that cost, and that will be electric vehicle with someone driving it, or it's going to be these little fellas, then that's it. You can't beat these little fellas. And these little fellas, remember, their price point by Starship is, it has to be under £6,000, $6,000. How could you make a drone fly for £6,000 or $6,000 against this little fella? You've then got to go, well, hang on a minute. Not only can that little fellow only cost £6,000, he's got no major regulation in the way. He doesn't have to be certified, and he can work more days. So a flying one, for example, there's 180 days in the UK, 160 days roughly. He can't work, so that can't fly for around 160 days. Our little ground trooper here, he doesn't care if it's raining, he'll go and do the job. That's fine by him. Bit of wet weather, that's fine. What happens if it's a bit windy? Well, the drone can't fly. A little ground fella, he doesn't care until it's about 80 miles an hour, and then he might get blown away. So there might be 10 days or 4 days a year where he can't go out. Already he's winning, and this is the important bit. It's all about costs. Where can you make your money back? And right now, the flying machines, with all the regulations, with all the UTM costs that were going to come, that's just a fallacy of an idea, and it's now gone. It's gone for, hopefully, for good. Yeah, and anyone that thought, you know, creating a new use space and being able to sell off all the airspace, a bit like mobile network frequencies, if you thought it would make lots of money, you were wrong. Very much so. Anyway, that's a little bit of a rant, little bit of a womblings on my thoughts. It's noticed that DHL have invested in some new kind of aircraft. It carries more than an iPad as well. So they've done that, and you know, they'll be self-piloting. That's the way forward, self-piloting aircraft. Get rid of the pilots, save yourself a fortune. After all, who wants one of these in a cockpit? We're pointless. We are no longer needed. Even airlines at some point will be going, let's get rid of the pilot. I'm surprised Airbus and Boeing aren't going, well, let's get rid of the pilot. Although if it's Boeing, to be fair, we don't really, yeah, I think I want a pilot in a Boeing. Not sure about the coding on that one. Right, that's it. And of course, if you invested in UTMs, UTMs just lost 2 big customers, so I don't see their future as bright. Unified traffic management systems, yeah, it's good news all around, I think, for the hobbyists. Anyway, that's it, my thoughts and my womblings, or my ramblings even. So have a good one, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.